So hopefully this is working. Um, if you're following me from YouTube or you're just seeing me randomly here on YouNow, I'm sorry. If you're seeing me here on YouNow, um, where was I going with that? Sorry, distracted by a text about baseball. What's going on, guys? It's Phoenix. This is mainly for my YouTube channel, so if you're seeing this randomly, I apologize. I honestly have no idea if this is going to work. I've just seen other people that are on YouTube do this recently, and this is an easier way of me talking about things than me trying to do a actual video about it because, well, YouTube seems to have an issue with direct uploads from my digital camera, which can also do video, and there's a space issue because of other things on my phone here. So, yeah. Anyhow, assuming this works, let's talk about Hascon. Hasbro's, like, not Transformers, just all things Hasbro convention that apparently is going on this weekend. I completely forgot that it was happening. I honestly thought it had happened earlier in the summer, and there just had been minimal coverage of it. But let's talk about some of the stuff that we've seen from Power of the Primes so far, which is the follow-up toy line to Time's Return. I'm just freaking YouNow. Stop it with the little reminders up there, or the tips. I don't care. Live streaming and stuff like that is just going to make more and more kids have ADHD. But that's beside the point. Anyhow, Hascon. It's their follow-up to BotCon, which apparently the license, there's legal stuff that the license for that ran out. They decided to do their own thing that was more focused on all things Hasbro. Whatever, we won't talk about that here. Power of the Primes is the follow-up toy line, and it's going to be hopefully starting next year. Even though I can definitely see some Titans Return stuff hitting the aftermarkets through next year, much like the stuff from prior to Titans Return still is. I know freaking my shelves in my local area still haven't seen the Twin Twist wave. I'm still on the lookout for Twin Twist. And Overlord too, like Twin Twist and Overlord and Windblade. Those are like the 3 Titans Return figures that I still want. And although technically I ordered Windblade, but couldn't get a refund, even though the package was lost in the mail because it was an international seller. Separate thing. Let's talk. Enough rambling. Let's just talk Power of the Primes and Hascon. I'm gonna hit 3 things here right off the bat. The Power of the Primes Dinobots. I like them, and I'm probably gonna get them just so I can have a full range of the 5 Dinobots as a proper display. Wherever that ends up being in this department or my next one, depending on how progressively they're released, because I don't see Hasbro doing them as an individual wave. I like them. I like how they look. I like the name and I guess the concept art for the combined form Volcanicus. But we will see. A, if I combine them. B, what the space situation is like for my apartment and everything. Which besides the whole snafu with my mail, because I should have, in theory, had 2, 3, and now 4 figures in my possession that aren't in my possession because of my local post office. So yeah. Anyway, I'm just going to go more and more retail, honestly. It's not worth to me really ordering figures online for a serious markup. When I can just get them online, or rather in brick and mortar stores rather later in the year, months after the fact. I don't need to be the cool guy on the block anymore who has a figure as soon as it comes out. Oh my God. This is why I don't know why people do YouNow as live broadcasts, other than YouTube's situation being a complete confusing mess. Anyway, yeah, I like how the Dinobots look. I just don't know if I'll end up actually combining them. What I might do, space allowing, be it if I stay in this apartment for another year come this coming summer, December 2018, or if I move, what I may do is I may end up getting 2 sets of them, one to just have out and then one to combine. We'll see. Or I may end up doing with them what I've done, at least what I did initially with some of the Combiner Wars figures, or just have them in their individual groups on display and then have them on display in their combined forms. That being said, it's the Dinobots. I'm probably just going to do what a lot of people will do and just not combine them. We'll see. As for the leader class Optimus, I can excuse the gray plastic that's like here and here, kind of just all around his chest, and as like the underarm kibble, because his fist is like this and there's just like gray plastic here. It's like that awkward tan. I don't even know really how to freaking describe the color that it is, because it's not really like, it's like a weird tannish cream color, if that makes any sense. We've dealt with underarm kibble for a later class Optimus Prime with both versions of Power Master Prime that we've gotten from Hasbro in the current Titan's Return range, so I'm okay with it. That said, I don't know that I will actually fully actively seek out that Leader Class Prime, even though he looks great. I will probably just end up getting him long term. I think it'd be cool to have a Classics Leader Class Optimus Prime, if I'm being completely honest. Something that looks really good next to the Combiner Wars Leader Class Megatron. Just saying. Which reminds me, that's actually going to be one of my things for TFCon 2017, is to get the Masterpiece Megatron from earlier this year. Issues with it aside. The Rodimus Prime. I like how it looks, even though it looks like a boxy hot mess, and I'm probably going to get it because I want me a proper Classics Rodimus Prime. And that's what Hasbro is doing with this range, with that Rodimus Prime. But 2 things. 1, he's just continuing the trend of every Rodimus or Hot Rod toy not photographing well. And 2, there's this whole situation with TFW where whoever they hired to be their photographer for Hascon this year did like 3 or 4 photos in a row of the Rodimus Prime's face. Yeah. We get it. He has a stern, wizened look to him. You don't need to give us 4 shots in a row of the face sculpt. We know what it looks like after the first photo or the first 2 photos. You don't need to give us multiple fucking photos of the same face. You're not saving face, pun intended, by doing that. Whoever TFW hired as their staff photographer needs to just like take 1 or 2 photos, or like take a bunch of photos, pick the best one, and move on. For some reason, that just bugs me. Most of the other stuff that we knew that was coming out from Power of the Primes, I like. The jazz that we're seeing, I am all about, to be completely honest. The Voyager Starscream, I'm all about, to be completely honest. The Dreadwing, Darkwing, Combiner, whatever's happening there. He looks really good. Will I get him? Probably not. Just because. It's a Combiner Wars rehash. He looks cool, but it's not anything that I have a particular attachment to. Skullgrin I like, but he's a Headmaster, so yeah, I am all about that jazz. I'm just looking at him right now. It's like a boxy reimagining of G1 Jazz, and I really like how he looks. Oh man, there's just a certain aesthetic to that Power of the Primes Jazz that I really like. And same exact thing with that Beachcomber. I'm sorry. That Power of the Primes Beachcomber just looks really freaking good. And I'm all about that. And it looks like with this post that I'm at now, we've got some other pre-orders, but this is all stuff, or not pre-orders, prototypes, but this is all stuff that we've seen before. Or stuff that we knew that was coming out. Like, why are we seeing another prototype for another Overlord? when we already know that we're getting an Overlord and he's already out overseas. I don't get why you would, unless they're doing a new Overlord for Power of the Primes, who's like a retooling of the Times Return one, who is slowly eking its way out. Why would you show a prototype of Overlord? I could have completely missed the boat on that memo, and that we are getting a new Overlord 2 toy lines in a row, or Overlord, sorry, Overlord 2 toy lines in a row. That also seems a little bit redundant, though, because if we're getting one in Times Return, why would we also be getting one in Power of the Primes? It just seems a little weird to me. Why would we be getting 2 of the same character who hadn't been revisited by Hasbro in some time in consecutive toy lines? I know they've done that before. If with this case in particular, it seems weird to me. I get that the Power of the Primes version is probably for people that don't like the Times Return mold, which is a heavy retool of Sky Shadow. No, which Sky Shadow is a heavy retool of, but I don't know. Just looking at that prototype for the alleged Power of the Primes Overlord, I'm probably not going to get him. I'm just holding out for the Times Return one. And it looks like, even though that's not all of what we know about Power of the Primes and the toy line and the figures that we're getting from it, that's all that's out there right now. So, yeah. I may do another one of these tomorrow or this coming week once the other stuff from Hascon comes out. But, yeah, I don't really know. With Power of the Primes, it's going to be the same thing for me as it was with Times Return. As in, if I like the figure and I have the space for it, I'll probably get it. So, yeah.